Hello everybody and welcome, my name is Marco and I'm Mr. Good Riddance. In today's tutorial I will show you how to achieve cartoonish looking cells by using the swipe technique and a comb soaked in silicone oil. Hope you're ready for the last episode of this week, and now without any further ado, let's do this! So, cartoonish cells, that's what we want to achieve today. We're gonna start by doing a swipe pour, and again, if you don't know how to do swipe pours, I posted a series of tutorials on them, so you can find this series by clicking in the top right corner of the video. Anyways, let's speed this process up. I'm gonna start by adding all of my colors one after the other, and as usual, don't worry if there is any gap between the lines that we're gonna add. You don't need to waste too much paint making sure all the spaces are filled. We are gonna fix this later on. It's gonna take us about an extra 5 to 10 minutes, but I think it's worth it in terms of saving paint and money. So as you can see, I keep on doing my rainbow lines, and at the end I'm gonna place a thick line of silver, which is actually gonna be the color I'll swipe across. So now I'm gonna fix all of my lines. To fill the lines, I'm using the back of a plastic spoon, and if you watched a few of my videos, you might have seen me using this before. I think this is a super useful tool to always have in your studio, because on one hand, you can always use it as a normal spoon to pick up all the excess paint and use it to cover your sides. And on the other hand, if it's a plastic spoon like this one, the back of the handle allows you to scoop up any drops of paint from your pour or to connect lines like in this case. So I flipped my canvas and now I'm gonna use a plastic sheet to swipe across. First swipe, not very good. Second swipe, almost good, but there's still some paint left, and as you might have noticed, I don't have much paint left at the top of my canvas, so I'm gonna add a bit more to do the last swipe, and this time I managed to do a decent job. So now I'm gonna pick up my comb, soak it in silicone oil and start applying it to the canvas to create lines and patterns of cells. It's worth noting that between each application I'm cleaning my comb with a piece of paper and soaking it in a puddle of silicone oil again. So the idea here is that I'm gonna add all of my cells until about 80% of the way to the top, and then I'm gonna just lift the canvas and have these cells expand until they reach the end of the surface. You can also not lift the canvas and just keep on creating cells like this until the top of your artwork. You can also not lift the canvas and just keep on creating cells like this until the edge of your painting. This will still give you a beautiful result, which is what I actually covered in my previous tutorial. However, now I want to achieve this specific result, so as soon as I get to about 80% of the way to the edge, that's where I'm gonna start lifting my canvas and have it just slide to stretch my cells. Okay, let's start lifting the canvas. Some cells will expand more than others, some will be a bit squashed, and that's where the cartoonish effect comes into play. So now I'm just gonna pick up some paint that fell off to make sure there's enough paint to facilitate the rest of the artwork to slide. and now I'm gonna lean it to the left and then lean it to the right to make sure that the corners are both covered. And I'm gonna lean it back to recenter it just a little bit. There you go. Now let's have a look at it from closer up. So I think this is a really fun style to try to create. You won't have too much control over the cells once you tilt the canvas, but that's also part of the fun. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this week's series of tutorials. Using a comb is maybe my favorite technique, so I love sharing these videos with you. Next week I'm gonna start my last week of tutorials, and they will be about a technique I've been developing over the last 3 months or so. So I'm super excited to share it with you and hear your feedback and see if any of you tries to apply it to your own artwork. For now, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're enjoying my videos, and as usual, I'll see you next time.